Hello, this is Miss Maddie with the Winnetka Library, and I'm going to show you how to make our rainbow keychain today. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to get our back piece of the cloud and we're going to sew all of the color stripes to the inside of it. So where the outline tracing the cloud is, that's going to be the inside of it. And you're just going to want to put a couple of tight stitches there to keep it in place, and then we'll add them all with the same threads. We're just going to do them all in a line. So now I'm going to add on the orange, and you're just going to want to keep them very close together up at the top. And yeah, I'm going to sew them side by side and then put a couple of stitches inside the orange as well. So now that I've got all of my pieces sewn on, I'm just going to tie a knot on my last stitch here. So I'm going to go underneath it and then back through to make a knot. I'll do a couple just to make sure it's really tight. And you're good to go. On to the next part. So next we're going to attach the keychain to the back piece. I'm going to use this long strip here and just fold it over around the keychain part and then sew that down to the back piece as well. Do a couple extra knots just to make sure it's really tightly secure, because this part will tug a little bit because it's a keychain, so you just want to make sure it's really secure on there. So next I'm going to sew on the front piece of the cloud. So the first thing I'm going to do is along the bottom where the colors are, I'm going to do a line stitch. So I'm going to do one wrap stitch at the end, and then I'm going to do my line stitch down the colors. So a line stitch is going to be one or two stitches down, one stitch back, and I'll show you how to do that here. So 2 down and then 1 back. And I'm going to do them very tight and very small and very close together to make sure none of the stuffing falls out. So now that I'm at the end, I'm going to do one wrap stitch just like I started with, just to tie off the end there. Then I'm going to tie a knot, and I'm going to start my next stitch around the outside, which is going to be a blanket stitch. So now I'm going to do a blanket stitch around the outside, and that's one where you do a loop and you put your needle back through it, just like that. So you go through both sides of the felt and then back through the loop in the thread. So through the felt and then back through. So you can't do the blanket stitch over this part because it's where the keychain is. So I'm just going to do a line stitch to attach this part of the front piece of the felt to the back two pieces here, the little loop and then the back piece. So it's going through all of that, and then just make sure that you don't sew the keychain while you're doing it. So now that I'm on the other side, I'm going to go back to using the blanket stitch, and then once I get to the last little bump on the cloud, I'm going to leave a hole open and put my fluff inside of it there. So make sure you tie a knot on that last stitch so that when you're adding the stuffing, it doesn't pull the stitch open that you did there. And now I'm just going to stuff the filling inside there. So now that all the fluff is inside, I'm going to finish off with the blanket stitch again and tie a knot, and I'll be done. your rainbow keychain. Thanks for joining me, and I'll see you at the Winnetka Library soon.